Yo, this shit doesn't like tighten up.
No, just keep it like this. Honestly, it's the easiest. Plus, it's more comfortable, even though it looks like you're talking into a dick. But I know I just ruined that for you. Yeah, it is being. This whole part is being recorded.
Yeah, both of y'all are undefeated for these quotes.
No,
Hey,
bro.
man.
Nah, don't put that on me. See how you try to steer my way? You a fuck.
Fucking pissed off, man.
All right.
Be pissed off.
So, all right. Let's kick this bitch off. Stop fucking with your mic.
You got 15 to 20 minutes.
That's fine. You can dip whenever.
Cap.
All right.
Let's go, Pop.
One time for the
Let's
one
go.
time.
I'm ready to go.
All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, guys? This is the first Wi-Fi Sessions podcast today. I'm joined with Christian Walker from Soul Space, celebrity stylist and fashion mogul. Christian.
What's up, guys?
And then I also got Teo, who does a lot of things that we'll get into today. And we're going to just talk shit about NBA players and whatever the fuck we want. So let's get into it.
Talking about NBA players today?
Yeah, we're going to talk about NBA playoffs to kick it off. Because we know that Christian's very upset today that he can't watch.
By far, I believe I might be able to make a little bit of it.
For sure.
Okay. I mean, that's always the bright side of it, right?
However, yes, I'm here, and I should be watching the game right now. Go Warriors.
For sure.
Shit, go Nuggets too.
You're a Nuggets fan?
He's from Denver.
I'm from
Oh,
Denver.
yeah, you
man.
are.
You know,
He has no choice.
It's just I gotta stay with the team for the rest of my life. But however,
So wait, what is your opinion
making it
on
to the playoffs? We're doing well.
What's your opinion on Will
Finally.
Barton as a Denver Nuggets fan? Were you happy or were you kind of bummed that he got popping and now he's probably going to stay, even though it looked pretty unclear for?
At the end of the day, anything that has to do with the NBA as an organization outside of the players is probably some bullshit. So I'm not even really tripping, to be honest. Like, you can go to as many games as you want to. I mean, like, there's all kinds of fucking people that you probably wouldn't want to familiarize yourself with at games every day, So, I mean, I don't even really know who the fuck that guy is the first place. Like, truly, like, who he is. And then at the end of the day, it's just like, that shit's not.
When he played ball at Memphis.
Come on, man. I'm from Denver, bro. It's like a 3-4% black population in the entirety of the state or some shit. They all live in Denver itself.
Bro, how was your high school?
Was it like all white?
How was your high school?
There's a lot of Mexican kids, bro.
I went to a predominantly
There's a lot of
all-white
Mexican
high
kids.
school,
Bro,
for sure.
Every high school I went to, there was hella Mexican kids.
I went to like a modern day segregated high school.
Are you serious?
It's predominantly mad white. No matter what, you can't escape white people.
Yeah,
for sure. It's like
Oh yeah, in Denver.
you walk out your door, you're gonna see white people. Like, even if you're in a black neighborhood.
Oh, facts.
So it's just like,
So-
and gentrification is real. They
It
locked
is,
in
it's
on that
wild.
shit about 6-7 years ago. They got it in.
But like
It looks completely different now.
the weird thing though is like I saw gentrification coming from a mile away because I went to De La Salle and basically like if you were white, your parents like owned a business or just had a hell of money or you were smart as shit. And then if you were like black or Mexican or anything like that, you probably played a sport and got recruited to go there. Like,
Yo, that's how it be in LA though.
I mean, it's just
crazy.
like
Just funnel the kids to the.
That just generalizes under the American pocket, man. In the urban communities, they systematically
Colleges.
set up everything. They send scouts to black areas to find fucking basketball players.
All
They
day.
don't send them to white areas. What the fuck are they gonna do up there, bro? I mean, they got shooters up there, and those kids are gonna fucking. They're gonna go to school and get noticed anyway.
But I think like
So
with the power of Instagram though, like that kind of is getting broken down because now like you watch like Overtime or like House of Highlights, all of a sudden you see these like 6'2", 150-pound white kids who are pulling 40-footers and like putting up 45 points in a game.
The only thing is with that,
everybody's balling.
You still
Doesn't
have
matter who
these,
it is now.
But
there's some white kid doing like 300 and he did like the kid that was doing like 360 twist dunks and crazy shit.
Mac McClung.
I met the kid.
So
he came to the store.
Go to John.
Yeah. So I mean, it was cool, and I mean, dude, the kid is fucking crazy, bro.
But now they're following these kids earlier and earlier and earlier. I'm watching highlights of kids that are like in 6th, 7th grade, and I'm like, okay, people are like, oh, is he gonna go to the league? I'm like, bro, are you serious?
They got like 2023 like
man,
draft mock
Look at LeBron's kid though, man.
Right.
He's already an NBA prospect, bro.
That's
literally.
disgusting.
But that's also like,
isn't that disgusting?
But think about
He's got so much basketball to do,
but it's gonna, shit though.
Yeah.
But you also have all the resources available, and your dad is gonna make sure that like.
I mean, he has the best of the best basketball resources on planet Earth, bro.
That's wild.
No,
LeBron is, roughly. I mean, outside of basketball and his endorsements and whatever the fuck he else got going on, he's probably, he may be the wealthiest basketball player on the planet.
Or one of the most
outside of Michael Jordan.
One of the most powerful.
He's the wealthiest playing basketball player on the planet, hands down.
Yeah.
Dude just opened up a fucking school and shit,
And it's doing
outside
well.
of
They
him
have some good grades.
LeBron James on the court. LeBron James is a really good humanitarian, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, and they're apparently his school is like doing really well.
Yeah,
I think 75% of the kids are passing right now. I think or something like that.
There's the test scores, I guess, are soaring.
Like have significantly gone up. But I think like it's very interesting to see how players' legacies end up happening because you see kind of they go down two different avenues. They either have this like humanitarian side where they have all these nonprofits and stuff that they can now run and just deal with. And then you have the ones that like have to get a job or like have the personality and have to keep like with that persona. Cause I couldn't imagine like Shaquille O'Neal having to be like that on a daily basis. Like there's some days where or like Shannon Sharp being like that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like imagine like having to keep that persona up and.
I mean, but nowadays you can be a lot more authentic with yours. Like Marshawn and Dame Lillard, like they come back to the hood and they always like have fun with the kids and like that's like a part of their thing.
But that's how they've always been though too.
Right,
like
exactly.
Dame was coaching like youth camps when he was in high school and shit. So it's nothing new for that. And Marshawn's been doing youth camps since he was in college, damn near. So if it's something that you're consistently doing all the time, then when you have money, it's more of like a matter of resources at that point and being able to like do more. Better. Like when Dame, I think his second year in the league, he sponsored the Oakland Rebels, right?
Right. They play at Soldier Town.
Yeah, Soldier Town now, and even like at Soldier Town because they had the first Nike EBYL stop I think out here. And like Stanley Johnson, they retired his jersey at Soldier Town. So he was out here in the Bay Area for like.
That's why the first time I saw him play was in Arizona. We were working out in the same gym. Yeah. And like now, I'm telling you, these kids are getting so much better training at an earlier age. I was at this spot called Inspire courts or whatnot. Yeah. So they got the whole setup. All the trainers come in there. It's like 12 courts in there, and he's just in there going to work like almost every day.
Work.
All day, every day with some of the best kids.
Anything, man, if you train it.
But with the best kids, like you're constantly getting that work, like yeah, you need that.
But it's a huge difference between like the kids that are gonna be hella like good as fuck when they get old versus the kids who are skilled and plateau.
That shit started. I mean, the crazy physical like, you know, basketball techniques. You know,
No, that's always been around.
that kind of shit. I mean, but like, look at like the transition of the league from what it was in the past and what it is now. You can just tell from those fundamentals that he was just talking about what it's doing.
Yeah.
Like, cause look what you got, fucking Giannis.
Yeah.
That dude's a human machine,
What?
and that shit's not even realistic.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, like, you can do anything you put your mind to if you think about it, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, especially when you're a men amongst boys in an entire league, it was like Bill Russell. He's got 11 rings. He was like the biggest fucking dude in the league. He was bodying cats everywhere he went.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I mean, you know, he's realistically the real. I mean, he's the ring goat besides Phil Jackson.
I mean, I agree.
Phil
I
Jackson
think
played basketball too, so it's like he played.
He got it in too.
He played NBA and he's a coach, so I mean he counts.
I think it's sad that Bill Russell's like low key overlooked when
No,
it comes
he's
to
not.
like. But no, he doesn't. But tell me the last time
They don't
Bill
be like playing real Bill Russell
young-
highlights.
Exactly.
Right, that's
But
true.
then, the
That's
reason
true.
is bullshit because they'll be like, oh, because he was playing like against all white dudes in like the 60s or like. In
I
the
don't have that
fucking-
argument.
But that's
I
like
mean-
the general. That's like a non. If you go up to the average person and say like,
That
Bill
doesn't mean
Russell.
shit though.
He's
Look
young.
at Larry
That's
Bird,
young.
man.
Oh yeah.
He was fucking bodying cats.
Yeah,
Like he's a fucking champion. Like it doesn't matter if you're white or you're black. It's just about who's coming out and playing better today. And like just like people lose I mean teams lose all the time. Look at the Warriors, man.
There's a small point, you know, to be made about some of the players that were in the league back in the day. Like when it first started out, people still had second jobs.
Oh yeah. Right. Like they would have practice
was in
and
the
then go
beginning,
back
though.
groceries.
Right. So that was in the beginning. But then you got like Pistol Pete, you know, who he's playing. And like at that time, they were just tough as nails. Like you go to the lane, like.
I mean, but like think about that shit, man. That's cool. But put the motherfuckers against the Warriors in like 2016 or right now, actually.
That would go crazy.
Get the fuck out of here,
It wouldn't
bro.
work. It wouldn't work.
That shit's not even realistic.
Like the Warriors are the closest team to actually are the equivalent to what like a team of seniors that are still playing college basketball who are everyone's like how did they get into like the Final Four or the championship game like a Butler. Like the Warriors are the closest thing to like a Butler.
I
where
don't
it's
actually think it's. Because think about it, man. These are all just average guys, bro. But they're good. But
That's what I'm saying,
But they're
like-
professional basketball players. Everybody can shoot. Everybody can
Yeah.
dunk. Some can shoot and dunk better. Whatever. However, man, these guys have a really dope ass relationship with each other, and that shit is very, very, very valuable when it comes to basketball.
yeah.
If you don't got a good relationship with the people you working with, it's just like this is their job. You going to work. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the people you working with, then how shit's not just gonna work out like that. I mean,
That's big. The chemistry is crazy.
the
The chemistry is crazy.
It's not like they sharing a bench with Kobe and Kobe me mugging everybody for not playing good enough and all this crazy shit and just whatever. I mean, we all love Kobe, but Kobe was a savage with them looks, man. You look at somebody, he looked at a lot of people and a lot of shit happened.
Yeah, all used to
But
talk
I
shit.
mean,
Facts.
facts. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, I think it's about team chemistry and just the build they have together. Because that shit is synchronized, man. Once you start shooting and you don't miss,
Oh,
that's not.
It's over.
Anybody can just shoot, but like they don't miss sometimes.
That's just
And,
crazy.
they've been having some rough patches, man.
Hey,
But
but-
they're gonna make it.
So we talk about like evolution of the league and like evolution of the players. What about like how they fall into other things? And you talking about LeBron doing these other things beyond just hooping. I have an example like Al Harrington after he retired.
The weed.
He's
He's in the
marijuana.
weed.
Yeah. He's
I
in
saw
Denver.
that. I
He's
was
hella
like,
cool, bro.
I was like, bro, he's got his own line called Viola.
Yeah.
I think it's Viola.
That shit's
And it's packaged beautifully. Like he really went all in with this, and from what I understand, like that business is gonna do very well for him.
I mean, yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm just like,
it's just like
more
it
and
just
more
takes
players
the
are just
angle
like-
you want to take because you got him. I mean, he's taking probably the more professional route or whatever,
Absolutely.
and then we got Runs. And You know, this is like the hottest shit in the streets right now.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna.
That's fucking weed.
And
I
the
was
I mean,
just
I got
buy,
some
like,
other,
some
there's some other
homies.
weeds that you can like cause like, you know, some money tree or some lemon tree, it'll give you a run for your fucking money, man. But
you know what's wild? Like, okay,
but-
so while we package and we know names here in the Bay, I mean, just
the Bay Area runs the marijuana market when it comes to
when you
branding a marijuana and
course.
making it explode around the country.
Yeah.
Like, look what happened with
crazy.
cookies and
Cookies
shit.
is
Got
crazy.
rappers rapping about it, people talking about it everywhere. Got cookies,
you think about
fucking shops and malls.
But when you go to
You
like
know,
other,
so, I mean-
when you're in other hoods, like on the East Coast, even down south, like when someone wants to like get weed from somebody, they honestly, even to this day, they hardly know
They just call it weed.
what it is that they're getting.
They're like, can I just get an
I mean,
eighth?
that's, I
Like,
feel like, nah, man.
it's
Can I get
wild.
an eighth of what you got?
That
Ain't that
happens when
crazy,
you're in
though?
the Midwest. Midwest, I mean, a lot of cats, man, you know,
They just get
like
Out
they're-
in the-
a lot of places they're not intertwined with like marijuana culture itself. It's
Not
because
at all.
marijuana is a culture. A lot of times it's just weed and it's like just another motherfucking drug on the street somewhere else.
But now
So,
people,
like-
up here, like some people will not smoke a certain strain.
Oh, facts.
Hell no.
Like,
Right?
I don't smoke sativas.
I personally don't like cookies. If the homie ever rolled up some bomb ass cooks, I might smoke with him, but I'm not ever in my life like right now maybe
Good.
looking for cookies because that shit just puts me to sleep and shit. It's a good weed, man, but it's just, you know.
A little too dense.
I mean, you know, I'm like, damn, man, the homies out here love that shit, and they'll smoke like 2-3 blunts of that shit in a row, and
Bro.
then you're like sleep.
It's just so different. It's so
It's like
crazy the
crazy.
difference in how we view it and how the culture of it here and like how it is in
And speaking
Arizona
of, what
or
happened- what's up with that
DC.
blunt, man?
You want to? Can you just roll it? I'm like, too. Like, I'm
talking about,
annoyed
man?
and my hands are shaking. So,
Come on, man.
Wildin'.
Hey, man.
but no, like I think the funny thing is like, all right, so I think it's the outside. It's not so much the culture. It's more of the outside perspective and understanding.
You don't want to roll it?
Nah, absolutely not.
You still don't know how to roll back?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
I'll say that
shit.
on
Teo
live
doesn't-
on,
Why don't
ca-
you-
So
on
I
camera.
think what we're, I think
Got
a,
me.
don't
a
you
segment
just
will
try
be
it, man? Jeez.
we're gonna
Shut
teach
up.
Teo by one of these podcasts.
I don't
Teo will
wanna
be
learn.
able to roll.
I don't need to learn
Why not?
because I'm always with
It's
someone
just
who
a
can.
goose.
One of your back.
That's how I used to be. You can't be like that, bro. It's not
Is
healthy.
that chocolate?
It's not healthy.
is-
Look
Yeah,
at
those
this.
those are chocolate
You know what's
backwards.
healthy? Me not.
I mean,
Rolling
you're
it
gonna
at all.
lift it here, bro.
But no, so like the funny thing is this, right? So, like a bunch of people from the Midwest, like their perspective of weed is, oh, I pay anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 for a half pound, and then they'll come out to California and find out they could get $1,200 to $1,500 pounds. But they don't understand how quickly those go. So they'll say, oh, I want that. I'm going to get the money together and get it to you next week. But by next week, all those packs he has at 12 are going to be gone.
I personally, I have no idea how that works, but to understand the pricing situation out here versus the rest of the world, this California state tax is crazy.
Oh,
You
37%?
walk into a dispensary and you see what people are paying and what people used to pay for like your regular
Oh man, it's ridiculous.
gram or a quarter.
I see people paying like
I don't even-
$80
like,
for an eighth.
right,
I'm
Like,
not
of
even
some,
like,
like-
tripping like it's like that's
It's
It's-
some
it'll
lows.
be like
Supply and demand,
$100.
but
It'll be $100
For eight.
You walk out of the store and spend $100. Go in there with $100 bill and come out with some change, and walk out with an eighth of weed.
But
It's crazy.
But that's just how it is now. It's like that tax, it's like 37%.
Like, you gotta understand that people mostly travel to San Francisco because they're tourists. All
Yeah.
people want to do when they come to California is go to the beach, get drinks,
dispensary is a
get
thing to do.
high, you know, like eat food, whatever, man. So like,
That's
and people pay the fucking money, man.
And
Period.
Let's talk about the economics real
It's
quick.
crazy.
Economics of what? Weed?
like
Or
these
just-
dispensaries and these distributors.
But the economics now is fucked because before it was about, oh, my area doesn't have this, so I'm gonna provide this product because now Kathy in Walnut Creek doesn't have to wait 2 hours for her order from Oakland to show up at some point. Now she can
in
order
a dangerous situation.
Exactly. And now she can order from a place in Walnut Creek that'll get it to her in like 30, 45 minutes.
And it's safe.
But the issue is now
sound
it's
safe to me.
now that it's legal,
Fucking Uber drivers
Everybody-
picking people up and killing them.
everybody's fucking starting
I'd be
dispensaries.
goddamn.
Everybody's starting dispensaries.
Yeah.
And
or
now
like them delivery
the
services.
market's like convoluted with just bullshit, and now everyone's price cutting each other. So now the markups and everything that attracted people to selling weed in the first place are diminishing to where you're gonna have to be a Marlboro, however you say that, cigarette brand. You're gonna have to be a big. That's why Big Tobacco, they want to put like
Philip Morris, PMI, Philip Morris International. They're based in, I want to say, Sweden. Yo, those folks, they're coming. They're coming for sure. But right
What are you
now,
talking about, man? They just like,
Look,
man.
right
They
now
they're
now they're
currently raiding farms as we speak.
right now they're
Like-
doing a lot more with the vapes, the vape pens, and all of that. Like that's what they're comfortable with going into. But when they come into the marijuana industry, it's all gonna be commoditized.
So
Canada, bro.
far
It's gonna be a
on
wrap.
December 10th in
It's, you know-
2018 on Market Watch, Chrono's CEO $1.8 billion from Big Tobacco is just the beginning for cannabis industry. So like they want to insert 1.8, and the fucked up part is like with cigarettes, right? Yeah, they're not great for you, but back in the day, like people weren't dying from lung cancer from smoking cigarettes. They were smoking two packs a day.
straight dead, like cancer quickly. Like yo, this
No,
and that.
back in the day,
yeah.
back in the day, it wasn't like
There wasn't so much shit in it
Yeah,
that they
like-
put in it to make you so addicted. And all
so you
kinda-
could
It's
smoke
just
tobacco
like food,
like
though. Come
you,
on,
you could smoke
chicken used to be chicken. Now it's like genetically modified and all kinds of fucked up. You
But
get
that's
that
why I
shit
got-
to your daughter when she's a kid, she'll have fucking breasts by the time she's 6, nigga. Genetic, man.
Now you gotta
genetically
do
modified
the
food
free
has-
range chicken.
No, for real, the growth
All of that,
hormones
bro.
and that shit fuck everything up.
I believe
bro.
it.
That's the same shit. I mean, just think about it. The food is really the biggest factor where people's health just comes. It doesn't matter what the fuck your problem is. It's your eating habit. Like literally, you could be eating anything. As long if you're eating bullshit, you're gonna have bad skin or eczema,
Yeah.
or your eye cataracts or whatever the fuck. Like all that shit is through your
Well,
consumption. So like.
you can control diabetes.
Yeah,
like people
you
think
have
like
to go vegan and drink alkaline water with alkaline pH water, motherfucker. And
Kangen
every month, that's
Kangen
all
water.
you should fucking drink. And drink that gross
Coconut
ass
water.
kombucha all the time, man. Hold it down. You know what I'm saying? And just be vegan, like
Change your
full
life.
blown. I mean, and vegan into the point that you only eat organic food and understand where your food is coming from. Because I mean, like food is, I mean, your fruit and your vegetables is genetically modified as well. Like your watermelons ain't supposed to be that big. Pumpkins ain't supposed to be that big. None of that shit. It's all
like
Strawberries
fucked up.
chickens
supposed to
are
be
supposed to be
Like,
that big. Like
Yeah, man. Like, and they wonder, and they put this cancerous shit in
it.
everything, bro.
And then
Like,
they're like,
there's
why are people
cancerous
getting
shit
cancer?
in our clothes. There's the dye in our clothing. It's fucking covered in fire retardant. That shit's fucking got all kinds of fucked up chemicals.
Facts.
Niggas be eating cereal on the regular. Nigga, there's fucking like fiberglass in this bitch or some shit. Some crazy shit. Like, it's some dumb shit. Like, there's
think-
all, and I don't, sadly, I abuse a lot of shit that I'm aware of, but fuck it.
The interesting thing you said about
Made it this far.
about like clothing with like
Just like talking about smoking.
the crazy thing is like Hypebeast did this really good piece on sustainability, because like now they're saying like Adidas, Patagonia, and Reebok were ranked as the most transparent fashion brands because like Patagonia, for example, did you
That's
see
on
what
point.
they put out? So for corporate companies, if you don't
sustainable.
meet their
Requirements.
their requirements for sustainability and being like a green company, they won't print your vests at wholesale prices. So you'll have to pay like full price to get printing, or they'll just refuse to do the order entirely.
You know, it's wild. I did a whole business
Patagonia
case.
is the #1 sustainable company.
Bro, I did a whole business case with it on this specific subject
As
in
an
this
American
company
brand.
Yeah.
during my MBA. Like, they made a whole like course damn near about Patagonia and how they're what you call a firm of endearment. So they use doing good as a way to be more profitable.
But what's crazy is like people, so the general consumer view of why sustainability exists is because of climate change. Like that's the number one. That's going to be the #1 argument as to why like climate change is occurring, and basically there's more to it. Like climate change wouldn't be enough for these brands to take radical steps if like if like these dyes weren't in some way cancerous. If like,
but like the manufacturing process is directly affecting the climate zone.
No, I agree with that. I'm just
these
saying
people, all they got to do is dump their waste properly, or stop using certain materials that is like deadly, and they can cut a lot of what's going to happen into the world.
It's not going to stop, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, when you make so much money,
people
Nike
make money off shit that physically fucks them up and their family, like putting shit in the air, all kinds of shit, bro.
Facts.
Like, come on, man, it's all fucked up.
Look at Bobby and Whitney.
Yeah. Anyway.
yeah,
that's not even funny, man.
Nah.
But all right, so who do we have? Who do we think is winning NBA Finals? Christian, Warriors.
Yeah,
you got the Warriors.
Definitely got the Warriors, man.
I'm not betting against the Warriors.
I'm not gonna bet against the Warriors, but playing devil's advocate.
Man, they're fucking. Man, they got the league is just on their ass so hard this year, man.
Did you see the shit about? Oh wait, Christian.
You talking about like the refs and stuff?
We need to get a exclusive. Christian, how do you feel about the Warriors teammates saying that Durant's going to New York?
Come on, bro. You know there's probably got to be talk about that. It's wild.
Okay, so they put out this. So Bleacher Report put out an article, and it said Kevin Durant. Oh fuck! Let me find this.
Yeah, bro.
So it basically said Kevin Durant, like Warriors teammates say they suspect he's already headed to New York.
I don't have that to speculate on personally. But I don't see him not doing that if he wants to.
I will say Kevin Durant and Dennis Smith would be a very scary combination. Because you have that speed and that length. You have a fast-ass point guard. And then you have a 6'11" gazelle that has a 7'2" wingspan.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, bro. You can there's a whole bunch of fast ass motherfuckers on every team. There's so many players in the league, you can't really familiarize everybody. But I know you put Kevin Durant in any motherfucking team, and they're gonna just start winning games.
That's for sure.
That nigga's nice as fuck, bro. He's the man. He's a fucking nail in the coffin. Bro, dead ass. When it's time to win, nigga, that nigga puts shots down, bro. Finisher.
What do you think about
fucking finisher?
Durant and Kawhi, and with the Clippers? How does that change things?
Durant and Kawhi going to the Clippers? Dude, but okay, who are the Clippers going to have to get rid of, dude? Because you're going to take away a lot of that.
What is that? Where did you think that shit?
That's left field, just out of nowhere. I'm just curious.
It says new report. NBC Sports Washington just reported an hour ago. New report suggests Kevin Durant is headed for the Eastern Conference.
Oh, ejection.
So that Clippers theory just.
No, honestly, man.
No, I'm just. But how did you think
these guys are human beings?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like whatever's best for him and his family. go ahead and fucking do that shit.
I agree.
I'm not even blocking. Like, man, I'm not sure because basketball, that is a job, and it's it's my favorite sport. But it's just like, man, nigga, wherever that bag is, man.
I think he's played it well. I think he's played it. He went to the Thunder for quite a while. I seen that whole Russell Westbrook, KD thing. It just didn't seem like it was gonna really, really work out, bro. Like they just had a lot of friction in that game. Like there were times when like KD was heating up and West was still forcing stuff. Like it just didn't seem right, bro.
But, I mean, bro, I feel like, man, Russ. I mean, I fuck with Russell
I
Westbrook.
fuck with him
he's
though.
A savage,
but he's a dog.
But my dude's he be abrupt as fuck. I be like, bro. I personally feel like he would be a way more respected leader as a point guard over that team if he kept his cool about shit. And I know he's a passionate player, and I respect that because everybody is, man.
That's true. But
I'm just like, damn, my nigga, like some of that shit, like, we're all of age, and sometimes you just can't control how you feeling when you play basketball, and maybe
that's real.
That might be his case, and fuck it, that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, man, like he's mad raspy, bro. He's ready to throw
hands
every
all
time
against anybody. Anybody can get it. That's that mentality he has.
He's like modern day Ron Artest.
But that's what
Real,
like separates.
Ready to go,
but that's what separates him and like allows him to make those big plays because nothing's gonna get in his way of making that shit happen. But
look at how Dame took care of business.
No, but
but
I'm saying so. There's two ends of that spectrum, right? You have Russell's way where like even if he misses that shot, he'll still be in your face talking shit, and he's like the guy who will never shut up, like the old dude who isn't that good, loses every game but still talks shit.
102-78.
Fuck, that game's over.
Shit, man.
But then you do have Dame, and Dame's always been like that, though.
Yeah,
Dame is a kid that would be, like, super quiet on the court, and then his team's down 10, and then next thing you know, they're up 5, and he has 15. He went on a 15-0 run by himself. And he's been doing that since, like,
Dame
high
Dollar.
school. But that's also because that's the culture that they grew up in. Because, like, we used to play...
Where were you at when you saw that shot go in?
Oh, yeah. I was at work.
Sleep, food.
Look at this guy.
Actually, I went to sleep
Looking
on
at
that
my
game.
eyelids.
That's
what I was.
I went to sleep and I was hella mad, but
because you woke up to that game winner, like.
But I actually
all over Bleacher Report.
I woke up like
Instagram, just every.
Like, I was hella mad.
I was mad when I missed that Luka Doncic Portland buzzer beater.
It happens. It's just a great moment to catch. Like I said, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like earlier, like
why you'd want to watch.
I really want to capture like dope ass moments visually. That's the kind of shit that my mind harnesses.
Because they just closed out the season. They're not the season, the series, right? So it'll be them in Portland next, or
Portland
Warriors in Portland next, or are they on opposite
Warriors
ends?
Rockets on Sunday.
Okay.
After they win.
And then who's Portland got?
I think.
Who's Portland got now?
I don't know. I haven't even really been watching any other. I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching any other series at all.
I've pretty much only been watching the Warriors, and even then it's it's if I'm with Moses or anybody else. I do not watch, or if I'm at work, because we always have the games on for people to come in. But NBA, we got. Let's look at the schedule.
When it's all said and done, the Warriors are gonna win. And that's it. All right.
Warriors are gonna win. You heard it here first from Christian.
Mark my words. Okay.
So they're gonna face the Nuggets or the Spurs.
Seriously though.
Okay.
The
Nuggets or the Spurs?
Western Conference semifinals.
That's kind of bullshit, don't you think? Like if they play the fucking Nuggets in the semis.
Hey, straight to the
Western
Western ship.
Like
straight to the Western ship. I'm sorry. Dame Dollar and CJ, they got to give them that work and just keep it pushing, bro. Because I want to see them in the Western Finals. I want to see them really.
Like, here's the thing is I think if they just keep pushing up,
would
like,
be dope.
riding this momentum.
That would be dope.
But do you think it's going to be a series, though? Because every time the Warriors and the Blazers play, the Blazers have not. They either
They were young
win
that
or
first
get
time,
blown
though.
the fuck out.
They were young that.
No,
Isn't
I'm
that
saying though,
usually
like,
how it goes with every team with the Warriors? Kind of.
Yeah, but
Lately-ish.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
I'm saying
but I don't know,
historically,
man.
though, historically,
I don't
it's
know.
always been like, I feel like with the Blazers, it's always been one end of the extreme.
well, this time I think the Blazers have experience being there, right? So like they really can give it a good shot if they can hone in and be poised down the line. However, you're still going up against the Warriors, bro. Like I don't know how you
Maybe.
power through that.
I mean, the Warriors, you know, you never know, man. They're unpredictable, bro.
Bro,
Mm.
You never know what the fuck's gonna happen.
any crazy outfits you seen this playoffs?
Oh yeah, what's the worst?
What's the
Who's the
word?
best dressed and what worst dressed
You
of
already know.
NBA postseason right now?
Russ be
I
wearing
haven't
some
even-
crazy shit. I haven't
I
seen
really
it.
been watching. I haven't really been checking for ball players.
I just follow that shit League Fit or whatever on Instagram. It's called League Fit, and they just like post all the.
Fits.
So I don't have to fucking watch the tunnel shit. I can just go to
Watch
League
them
Fit and
walk
be
through
like,
the tunnel.
oh word, Russell Westbrook decided to wear a Canadian
you know that's-
tuxedo short,
That's another
short and vest.
I don't know, man. Like
That's another evolution. Though.
I critique fashion a little differently when I want to check out new styles and shit. But I mean, I'm not looking for ball players.
Who would you say then? So let's move from ball into fashion and
I'm not
say who are your
saying,
top.
It ain't fashionable, but you know.
Yeah. So who would you say like are your top 5 brands of 2019?
My brand pieces, Dawn. And then I mean, who else? I mean, what do I really wear, bro? Right now,
Aaron.
I mean, my little bros. I got on.
I ain't gonna lie. Montclair's been
Low-key
on
Industries.
a
Got
tear.
on here in Preston.
Montclair's all over everything.
I just think of every time I see someone in a Montclair jacket, I just think of Ghostbusters. the Michelin Man running down the street, just like, woo. Like, my boy got a fucking jacket, and that shit was like puffy as hell. I was like, when he was standing, his arms were permanently like this. But no, I would say Dior. It's funny because like anywhere
Dior.
Kim Jones goes, all of a sudden like fire, because he brings Yoon to come do the accessories,
Jones
and
is pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
Yoon.
I mean, Dior is
yeah.
pretty cool. I mean,
I just think it's been a lot more simplistic and more everyday than it has been in the past. Like I feel like Dior before Kim got there was like,
I mean,
oh, you
them
need to
bringing
be-
like
you need to go to Met
cause
Gala.
for a lot of
Right.
their event fixtures and etc. is really dope. I mean, Kim Jones is extremely creative and he's hella connected. He knows a lot of people, so he could just
Yeah.
reach out
and get
be
whatever
like,
made
yeah,
at
hell
any
yeah.
time.
You know, he works for crazy ass companies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Kim Jones right now? You know what I'm saying? He's sending shit out. He locked in with Daniel Arsham. Come on, man.
But I mean,
this guy.
But what's really gonna like set a brand apart or set a designer apart is when you have pieces that like that the Dior Cause collab,
Word.
the Dior Cause collab that's coming out or that did come out, like that shit'll still be dope in 2030.
Bro, I feel you, but you know, this. How about the hype beast stuff, like Supreme? Honestly, Virgil with Off-White,
I mean,
he's doing
dude,
some things too,
Supreme,
though.
they sell, but Supreme.
Versace.
I mean, the original owner doesn't own this Supreme anymore, so you know.
I personally don't
It's a
really
different.
vibe
It's
with
a
it.
different. I mean,
I can't
Supreme
do it.
still makes dope shit, man. But
I
I've always
personally
been like
just-
hit and miss
I'm
with the
good.
brand. I don't buy like all the shit they release. I'm not really into
I'm straight.
the shit. It's a skate brand too. I got a lot of skate friends. I love skate culture, but I mean, I don't skate, so you know.
I mean, it's
It
pretty.
is what it is, but
How you like what Virgil did with the latest drop with Louis?
I think like it
With the
was
orange.
part of it was functional and part of it was
Yeah, I think that
strictly
shit
for
was
I
hot.
don't know.
No, but I think
like all the pieces roughly.
Especially the
He
baggage.
evolved a
The
lot
baggage
of
too,
shit.
and the hoodies.
But think about the month.
Straight.
I don't, man. I'm not really feeling the sneakers, man. They look just like the E-Tonic. I mean,
Yeah, I'm good on the sneakers.
I mean, it's
Straight.
damn near. Yeah, I mean, honestly, but I'm still not mad at him bringing that shit back and turning it into a luxury standard too, because somebody else never did that either. So it's just like,
That's wild.
I mean, there's a lot of good and bad you can take away from that kind of shit. You know, that's just the way I personally see. I just don't like the shoe personally. But I mean, anybody could have any kind of perspective about it.
So that's high end fashion. How about that mid level fashion, like
mid level would be like Rude,
or even what you sell at Soul Space.
That's what.
I mean, I got but man, in the midst of the redevelopment, we got a lot of different brands coming in. So it's, you know, what we carry now isn't really, you know, as just as what we'll be having within the next 2 to 6 months.
No,
all right. Well, Christian has to get out of here, so you have 30 seconds to plug anything that you want, if you want to plug anything.
Oh, yeah.
Anything going on with pieces? Any drops that we should be looking for? Anything that we should be looking for?
I mean,
from Soul
I'm always
Space?
working on some shit. I got a bunch of shit going on, but I mean, you know, we got Apple Store in Union Square in July.
Apple Store.
July 11th, doing a fashion workshop. You know,
It's gonna be dope.
so it's gonna be cool. Pull up. I'm gonna make it super creative. It's gonna be crazy. That's the vibe.
I will be there.
That's the vibe. You know what I'm saying? But I'll see you guys later.
All
All
right.
right, bro. Be easy.
But-
So talk to me about this party, man.
So this party that we started was it's a live stream party in San Francisco at 1111 424 Clay Street. So basically,
This is some different shit.
yeah.
This
So
is way different.
like I wanted to do like something with live streaming and
So will the camera live stream the party and be fixed on the crowd, or be fixed on like you in the DJ area, or like?
no. So basically, what's gonna happen is we want to get one fixed DSLR that's gonna focus on the DJ, and then we'll have a GoPro because our technician Calvin, he works for GoPro, so he can get some cameras and stuff. So we'll have cameras kind of put throughout, and we'll have someone moderating the stream, so we'll be able to like switch through views basically.
Oh,
And then kind of like filter through. But it's pretty cool because I didn't want to do like a gnarly space, like hella big. I wanted it to be a very like intimate event.
So when it's live streaming, is it correct that like the viewer that's streaming it is just going to be listening to your playlist?
Yeah,
right?
so
It's not
basically like
they're not going to be listening to the crowd.
no, like they won't, like you'll be able to hear the crowd, but the emphasis isn't going to be on the crowd. The emphasis is going to be like on the music, because like the goal is it's a weekly, so every Wednesday we'll have it, and essentially like I want to make it a TV show, so I want to keep it like fresh and new. I don't want to get it labeled as anything. I don't want anyone to go like, oh, this is a rap party or this is an EDM fest type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like our first guest that we're having out is Drew Banga. He's pretty much anything that's come out of the Bay Area in the last like year, he's probably been a part of it. Next, in session number 2, we have DJ Millions, who's on tour with Who's All Black right now.
He's hot right now.
Fuck, telling me he's
at least out here in the Bay.
yeah, and he's on tour right now with Offset Jim. I think it's Offset Jim's tour, right?
I'm not even sure.
Shit. So I think, but yeah, so like we have Millions week 2. Week 3 we have DJ Shellheart. we have DJ Shellheart week 3. That was pretty cool because it was like I have Drew, I like Tom Bogo. He currently has this pop up, and I've known Tom since like he first started like his clothing shit, because I used to run this barbershop in Berkeley called The Golden Gifted with this dude Trung Tran, and we had this like barbershop clothing store, and in the back we had this like dope little backyard area, so we used it as like a concert space kind of, even though we weren't supposed to.
Like throwing parties in the back.
We were throwing parties in the back, like another Party Fam First Friday parties. Like their first party was like in that backyard, and like Keith from the Wolf Pack showed up, and like hella people showed up to that shit, and it got shut down. But there was so many, like, it's hella funny because so much shit that's like relevant and popping nowadays, when it was like first getting on its feet and like first doing shit, it was like in the back of our store. Like, and having to coordinate that shit was like fucking ridiculous.
I
like,
can imagine.
It's
every week.
Like every week I would have to deal with someone's bullshit, someone's like drama, like fucking staying hella late.
But it was a good time.
To have to like clean shit up. That was bullshit. But yeah, Wi-Fi sessions. It starts May 8th. That's session number 1, 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. And the 4th week, I'm working on getting a special headliner right now. So stay tuned for that, because
go big or go home.
That'll be like our 4th week anniversary. But other than that, yeah, nothing. But this is one thing that we're going to consistently do as well, is this podcast. The goal is like we want to put one out every week, essentially, because we want to turn this into like a consistent content platform that's covering things all cultural and interesting, but not like reading off of a script or anything like that. Just kind of shit that like we find interesting, or like stuff that viewers put us on to. Like, I'm with all that shit, because I think that's where things get cool, is when you get to see the perspective of other people. When you get to find out like about the herpes outbreak at Coachella from TMZ.
Yo, when I scrolled down like
I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too. I seriously thought it was a joke. And I was like, yo, I'm glad I didn't go. Like, what? That is wild.
Someone posted on their Instagram story, they were like, if you went to Coachella, please do not be near me.
Tragic.
They said like herpade or something like that. They had.
Bro, I'm not about to go into this.
Like 250 cases in the first day.
That's out of control.
Like
250 cases?
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
But I do feel bad for Nicki Minaj's performance.
I didn't see it. It was bad.
It was bad. Yeah,
it was
like
bad.
it was.
I'll look into it later.
You'll
probably bad.
You'll feel bad because you'll just be like, damn, like
no one fucks with her.
Well, not even that. It was just
Where
like I think her earpiece was fucked up, and then like the monitors were fucked, so she couldn't hear anything. And then she was like doing this duet shit with Ariana Grande, and like it was completely off sync. Like, it was really bad. And then
somebody got fired,
and then we were
or lost money.
Oh yeah, facts. And then we were so we were watching fucking the last acts at Coachella. Have you watched any of those? Like the acts that go on at like 12:45,
like late,
like the last closing act of the night type shit.
I thought it usually is like one of the best performances usually. Like,
so
did Beyonce go last
yeah, so there's like stages that are like that, right. But like on the other stages, like the curated stages.
Oh, geez.
So we were watching one, and it was like, it's unexplainable. Like there was a girl that had a DJ set, I guess, but the way the stage was set up was it looked like a living room, and she started off by like making herself tea. And then she was like sipping tea and like walking around. And then she like walked over to a couch and then just started like singing randomly.
Holy cow.
Like
that's bad. That's hella crazy.
I was sitting there and I was like, I know I'm not high, but I definitely feel high. Like
you're watching that? Like
I was like, I don't think I'm high.
I wonder who paid for that.
But
like or
how much?
Who got paid?
Like, and then there was like another one with like some fucking weird dancing. Like,
you think some people paid to perform?
Was it the weird dance? What was it? The second night? It was like that dancing Oompa Loompa Asian. It was like some Asian dance that looked like, but the visuals were all like fucking glitchy and shit, and then their movements were hella offbeat. So you're just like, it was like jazz music.
I'm cool off Coachella, bro. I'm good. I was gonna go like a couple of years ago, and a bunch of friends went. I just was one of those guys that just didn't go.
So like, I understand people having stances where it's like, oh, I don't go to Coachella because like they like fund pro-choice or pro-life or whatever. But like, don't tell me that's the reason you're not going. Like.
That's wild.
Be like, because if that's the case, that means you shouldn't fuck with any of the artists. You should stop playing all that childish Gambino music in your Instagram stories. Right. Like, because he's headlined Coachella the last like 4 years.
Right.
So he obviously aligns,
bro,
like with that fucking visual. If you think that, but it's festival season. But
yeah, bro, it's time for some new music.
It is.
It's time for some new drops. I don't know who's coming.
I don't think.
But the summer's about to hit. So where's Drake at? I guess is he supposed to be dropping something?
No, he won't drop something until fall. If he drops anything,
October?
It'll be like a joint.
It'll
be like
November?
a joint mixtape. Like I know him and Future. I think him and Future said there's Jumpman number 2, or not Jumpman 2, but whatever the fuck that album was called. Fuck Drake.
Hey man,
I mean,
he's just winning so universally right now.
Because he's every ethnicity.
I know, and it's working.
He raps in Spanish, doesn't he?
I don't know about rapping in Spanish.
Or
I know he had that Spanish song, though. Yeah, for sure.
Like
he's doing it the way he wants to. He wants to be international, bro. Let that man rock.
All right, and on that note, we're piecing the fuck out. Follow Wi-Fi Sessions on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all that shit. For updates, you can follow me at MaxwellBP for show updates, anything related to Wi-Fi Sessions as well, and Teo.
Yo, man, be easy. Y'all have a safe week out there.